I can pretty much guarantee that you are about to see the craziest version of Thor that you have ever seen before. Banner of War Part 3, let's get into it. Okay, so in the last issue, we left off with Banner inside his subconscious, trying to warn Iron Man that the Hulk persona is now in full control of his physical body, and he doesn't realize that he's not in a simulation. And so this issue picks up right where we left off, inside the psyche of Hulk, where Banner sees a fiery rage like he's never seen before, burning inside of the Hulk. And as he watches what's about to happen, he says, "I'm so sorry for what you've unleashed." Because what they've unleashed is a fully enraged and all-powerful Hulk that doesn't believe he has to hold back. As the story moves on, we see Tony in his celestial Hulkbuster suit absolutely tearing into the Hulk with his wrist beams, literally putting hole after hole into the Hulk's body. Now, as Thor watches from up above, the narrator states that Iron Man is unleashing the power of a celestial sun upon Hulk, and that Hulk is currently enduring an ocean full of pain that humankind isn't even capable of perceiving, and yet Hulk still stands. Tony then reaches out to his AI to get an idea of what's going on. He asks if the Hulk's gamma radiation has been successfully drained from his body, but to his surprise, the AI responds with, "Incorrect. Hulk's power levels are actually surging, and his gamma radiation is increasing." After that, Hulk becomes so angry that we get a glimpse of Titan, the version of Hulk that Hulk turns into when he passes the upper limits of his rage. This amount of power and rage is so much that the celestial Hulkbuster is overwhelmed. After that, Tony is hit by Mjolnir, and it sends him flying backwards, crashing into the ground. Tony's AI then alerts him that a critical amount of damage has been dealt to their systems, and that Tony has sustained multiple broken ribs and a fractured collarbone. Surprisingly, Tony refuses to back down though. He then sees something in the fire off in the distance. It's Thor, walking towards him. He tells Tony, "If you can hear me in there, stand down, because something larger is at play here. There is something wrong going on with the Hulk, and it's unlike anything they've ever seen." Thor then apologizes to Tony about Mjolnir. He says that it wasn't his doing, implying that it was Odin, who possesses Mjolnir. After that, Thor tells Tony that he fears they may have to put Banner down for good this time, but before he can fully finish his sentence, Hulk catches him off guard and smashes him into the ground while yelling out for Banner, because he's trying to get Banner to stop what he thinks is a simulation. Tony then powers up his celestial armor once again and then blasts Hulk with his cosmic repulsor beams, but Hulk isn't really phased, so Odin leaves Thor's side to deal with Hulk himself. Odin proceeds to pin Hulk down through Mjolnir and then tells him, "Calm down, friend. I'm not here for you. I'm here for Dr. Banner." Now this gets Hulk so aggressively angry that he builds up enough gamma inside himself to burn the ground underneath him and then shatter this physical manifestation of Odin with his eye beams. Tony is completely shocked, stating that Hulk has enough gamma inside him to melt an entire city's skyline, and as his rage continues building the amount of gamma radiation inside of him, Thor tries grabbing his hammer before it's possibly destroyed, but before he can do so, Hulk detonates, unleashing a gamma bomb so huge that it destroys Tony's armor and could be seen from different planets in space. Shortly after that, Tony crawls out of his celestial suit, and while completely blown away by what just happened, he checks out the aftermath. His AI then tells him that he only survived because of his celestial tech, and that the explosion was equivalent to the force of 3,000 gamma bombs. Tony then looks around and asks his AI if that gamma bomb could turn a human into a Hulk. His AI responds, no, it would atomize them. After that, Tony says, well, what if something other than a human was hit by that gamma bomb, like a god? What would happen then? And that's when it gets revealed that Thor, the god of thunder himself, has been completely transformed into a Hulk, and he says, Thor, smash. But sadly, that's when our issue comes to an end, so like for part 4.